Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year to all of you. My name is Dania. I work at the American Center Tashkent, and this is our virtual USG Alumni Talks program. Welcome, everyone. We're now live on our Facebook and YouTube channel. Today, I am joined by a UGrad alumna, Mukaddas Boboyorova. Hello, Mukaddas, and welcome to
Hi,
our session.
Dania. Hi, Dania. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you for joining us. Mukaddas is a senior student at the University of World Economy and Diplomacy, majoring in World Economy and Management. She is a UGRAD exchange program participant in 2019 and 2020. She started her exchange semester at West Liberty University in West Virginia last January, and after 2 months, uh, COVID-19 outbreak had started while she was in the US. So in today's session, Mukaddas is going to talk about the impacts of COVID-19 on exchange students in her own example. And before we get started, I'd like to remind to our audience that you are welcome to participate in our live discussion by asking questions in the comments box, both on YouTube and Facebook, and we will address them to our speaker. All right, I'm turning it over to you, Mukaddas. Let's get it started.
Mhm. Thank you. Hi again. I'm really happy to be here to give presentation on how COVID-19 affected exchange programs and how it affected my long-awaited exchange program while I was in the US. Why this picture? Because why selfie? Because I was most of the time I was just in the room, staying in the room alone, and from time to time I would travel to the different spots of my room and take pictures. So let's get started. How COVID affected my exchange program. Um, this is the picture which says everything actually about my exchange program. Yeah, this meme is so popular among those students whose exchange program was somehow affected by coronavirus. But besides jokes, this is the plan, the outline of my presentation. First, I'm going to start with how my journey started, how I found out about UGrad program, and how I applied. And then I want to talk about the main topic was expecting from the UGrad program and how it turned out to be in reality in terms of academic plans, in terms of improving English, traveling, community service. And in conclusion part, I want to say like, was it worse? Like, would I recommend to go or not to go for an exchange program? And we're going to finish with Q&A session. So, how it all started. Now, as an alumni, we have a UGrad alumni community a group chat. We love to hang out with guys, meet up, and turns out that every UGrad participant was somehow inspired by someone who had already been to the US by this program. So we say every UGrad participant has their UGrad inspiration, and mine was Jahangir Azimov. Uh, so we went to the same university when I just got accepted to the University of World Economy and Diplomacy. I guess he was senior student, but we never get a chance. I never get a chance to talk to him. But 3 years ago, I was in a volunteers team for TEDx conference in Tashkent, and he was the license holder. He was the organizer, and for me, he was an active student, like from university, and he was the superstar of our university, and just someone who I would look up to. And during this conference, I got a chance to talk to him. And the first thing I was really amazed about him was his English, his perfect American English. And I was so jealous of it. And I didn't hide it. I just came up to him and I asked, like, how come you have such a perfect English? And that's how I found out about UGrad program. Yeah, I love this story. Why? Because that's how I got inspired by him, and I love how people. When I was in the U.S. already, I love how people reach out to me and ask about the UGrad program, how I can inspire and get inspired, and it's about staying curious. Yeah, if you don't be shy, if you're saying like someone you admire or you have questions to someone, just go to them and ask. Because now this superstar to me calls me a little sister, and it's amazing how in life small things can bring you to a bigger picture. For example, I was doing this volunteering thing at TEDx conference, which brought me something bigger, UGrad. And I really hope and believe that UGrad is also going to bring me to something bigger in future. Yeah, that's how I became a student at American college, how I dreamt like since childhood. Um, and this was, for me, I was so happy and excited and nervous too because I had to manage. It was just a 4 months period, and I wanted to try like uh, everything. I didn't want I didn't want to miss out like campus events. I wanted to travel, and I realized that managing your time and finances was art of balancing everything. Because most of the students want to travel during their exchange program. Um, it was hard to organize because I had my plan was if I have 4 months, I wanted to go like to 4 states to see 4 cities, and it was February, and it was very cold, and people didn't want to travel. My friends didn't want to travel, and besides that, I decided like just to go. That was my plan, and after going, I chose Chicago, and I was like, why on earth someone would go to travel to Chicago in February? It's so windy, it's freezing cold, and this is the best picture I could take from Chicago, Chicago sky desk, like the best picture. Of course, I was expecting better, but despite this all, I was able to see Chicago theater. I was able to try this legendary traditional Chicago deep pizza. And I was able to visit the University of Chicago. This is a really good university. I really dreamt to go for my master's. And look at me, I took picture as if I was graduating from this school. This was traveling before pandemic, and how it all started. In March, I decided to go. My friend and I decided to go to New York. When we traveled to New York, it was not that problematic. The airports were quite busy. Markets at the airports were working. It was spring break, sort of March, I guess, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but just to compare, right? Pandemic was very like coronavirus was already in the US, but I was going to the busiest part of the city, and there were like a lot of people there. I was really trying hard to take perfect picture without like people, but after couple days, this is the difference of these pictures is I guess like 3 or 4 days. It became like so empty. The city became like as deserted. That's the picture from Times Square. I was complaining that so many commercials, so many people are there, and I cannot take picture. And that's what it became after pandemic started. Um, and after seeing this picture, I realized how sad it is because Times Square was not about commercials on screen as it's about people. because look at this. This is how it usually would look like so busy and Times Square. This is also kind of what makes Times Square Times Square, people. And the next day, I guess it was 11th of March, I was walking down Wall Street, and I took this picture. Like, look at the picture on the right. This is a table which shows how stocks are moving. And I don't know if you can see it, but this is the BA ticker is for Boeing company's ticket, and I could see it was going down like really bad, and that's how I felt like for the first time that pandemic is here and it already affected stock market. Mm, the longer I was staying there, the harder it was crashing down. And I think like I love this picture. I love this video because it's like such a symbolic thing. When the market was crashing down, I was walking down the Wall Street. I was witnessing the history. Like now, I realize that I was witnessing the history at that time. Because like even though the market was so crashing down, um, we didn't have any official information about our studies. I went to the university at West Virginia, and during if it was like March 11th, we still didn't have any notification from our university that classes are going to be canceled or online. We didn't have any information yet. And then I love this picture too because here my friend is trying to show the typical Wall Street guy. I've never seen so many fancy cars and such stressed out owners of those cars in one street. But now I ask myself, probably it was not their typical mood. Probably because of the pandemic, its effects on stocks. They were like in such a stressed out mood. The next day, it was like March 12th. It was how pandemic was affecting my plan, right? My day. Uh, the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. I didn't have ticket. Yeah, probably you know better if you see this picture. So I didn't really have tickets, but if you are in New York, I really want you to check out this thing. Um, so what they do is on the day of the show, they post at 12 o'clock. Uh, they post a picture of their intern who has two tickets, free tickets, and at 12 they post the location. Here it says like, for example, Rockefeller Plaza, and you could go and find their interns and get free tickets. That was what I was trying to do. Uh, I went to the subway station, which was comfortable to get like any part of the city, and waiting for the notification of their interns and the location. And we were waiting for 15 minutes, and then after 15 minutes, they announced that the Tonight Show was canceled because of pandemic. Yeah, I really wanted to share. It's not like really popular thing, but as you can see, he hosts like great celebrities. If you're in New York, I recommend you to check out. Try to get these tickets. Mm. So the next day, uh, this is the day before the official lockdown day. We were so excited to go to the Lion King show. We were taking pictures, thinking that we're going to tomorrow. I'm like making my childhood dream come true and coming to the Lion King show by Disney. But no, the next day it was all official. Even our campus announced that classes are going to be canceled for 1 week until the first notification, and most of the international students were encouraged to go home. And my friend, he was from Germany and from New York. If he was supposed to come back to campus like after spring break, he straightly went to Germany. And then what I was doing was I was coming back to campus because our program. wanted us to be on campus until the first notification. Um, yeah, that's how I came back since I was coming from a red zone from New York, where COVID outbreak was pretty bad. I was asked to be quarantined for 2 weeks. I was staying in one room. This is my room, uh, and I was not allowed to go out at all for 2 weeks. And that's how my friend would bring like food at my and leave it to my doors. Um, yeah, after 2 weeks, I was allowed to go out and have lunch with them, with my friends outside. But after couple days, we were like getting like less and less people. People were leaving to their houses. We were saying bye to our friends each week, uh, and in April, it was only 4 international students staying on campus. About classes, my classes went on all first they were like canceled for one week, and after 1 week they all got online. And it actually, for those who never had a class online, the transition required many hours of work and patience. It was like not only for the professors but also students who never had like, online classes. And for me, at some point, it was easier because I had a public speaking class. I was really scared to give a speech in front of people in English. I was so shy, like to speak up. And now it became online. What we were required to do is just record ourselves giving speech and send it. It became like a little easier in these terms. Uh, as I told, like I was my goal from going to the US by the program was to improve my English. And since the classes got online and we were not allowed to see each other, to meet people, I had really hard time to improve my English. It wasn't like as I expected. I really wanted like to do my homework like around people, to travel with English speaking people, and like to be around by English, But uh, all I was doing was just staying home, staying in my room alone, and classes are online, and I couldn't speak. I couldn't really practice, but things changed. How it changed since the all international students went back home on campus. And there were like mostly Americans staying here there, and that's how I got chance to make friends with American student who got introduced me to his friends, and how I started practicing my English and improving my English. And that's how I found about Appalachian accent of West Virginian people, Pittsburghese accent of American English. Besides that, I got chance to see beautiful places of West Virginia. We were not allowed to hang out on campus anymore. I couldn't even have lunch with my friends, but we were allowed to leave the campus if we have a car because you have to do shopping, you have to buy your food, and that's how we could go to other places like besides being on campus in one room. Community service is a big part of the UGRAD program, uh, and I really encourage like it is like really encouraged to do like more than 20. It's required to do like 20 hours of the work. Uh, Luckily, COVID didn't affect my plan because before the March I was able to complete 20 hours of the required community service. What I was doing was to help kids do their homework and play with them after school, and it was held at church. That's how I met not only kids but their grandparents who would pick up them after classes. And what community service gave to me is I meet people with whom I still keep in touch, And when the pandemic started, and I was staying alone in one room, the, they were the people who would check up on me like every week, checking if I have enough food. If not, they would like come and leave the food at my doors and bring me through the windows. Um, I learned a lot about community service, how important it is to give back to your community, and this is something I'm gonna do wherever I am after coming back to Uzbekistan too. It's like really important. If you like, no matter like in what society you're living in, to give back to your community through community service. Mm. I cannot see the presentation. Can you hear me? Okay, I now I guess it's working.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, what I'm trying to say with this presentation is to stay positive and staying active, even though we didn't have this big event in Washington, D.C. I can say that I had like very challenging, but at the same time, very meaningful time staying in the US exchange program. And I want to give some reasons why you should apply it too, because the application is open now, uh, and it's a great chance to apply right now. Great thing about exchange program is you go to a new environment and new culture, and you're not just learning it like through like books or speeches or podcasts or something. You just immerse yourself in a on a daily basis to local uh, life of the new culture. Next thing is professional personal development. As I told, like I was even it was pandemic time, I was able to like speak up, practice my English. First, when I first came to the US, I was not able. I was so shy. I was scared. I was shy of my accent, and I just realized that that if I'm not gonna speak, if I'm not gonna practice, I won't have friends or like I won't be able to eat. Like you have to go and order your food by speaking English. That's a great thing to improve your language skills. And of course, travel opportunities. Even though my travel plans were like disrupted, I couldn't like travel after pandemic. But great thing it was that I was able to go to Chicago even though it was like so cold, because if I would postpone it, I would never get the chance to see Chicago. And of course, long-lasting friendship. Uh, we still like have virtual meetings with other UGRAD participants from different countries like Laos, Dominican Republic, and South Korea, and this is great thing. Mm, this this is my contact information. I'll be really happy if you have any question and reach out to me like regarding the UGRAD program, application process, and everything. I'll be really happy if I can help you out, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mukandas. Yes, we have some questions and comments. Uh, Hi, Mukaddas. Miss you from Linara Ahmedova. And a question about URAS program for this year. This is coming from Madina Mukherboyeva. She's asking, will there be an interview this year? So we have just shared the link and information below. Please check uh, the link of the US Embassy
Mhm.
website. Actually, it was recently announced, so you can find all information there. Let me show it on the screen. So both on Facebook and YouTube comments box, you can find this link. Yes, the UGRAD program has been announced, Madina. Thank you for your question. Okay, Dinoza says no interviews this year. I have just answered to this. Dinoza, please check the link below. Okay. Almona Chulip says traveling is the best even in February. Okay. Zio Muhammad Usmanov. Hi Mukaddas. Thanks for sharing your experience. How to write a winning essay. And I think this is one of the hard part of the application process, and many students have challenges with this. So please share your tips and advice on writing a good essay.
Okay. First of all, thank you, Linara. Thank you, Amon, for your nice comments. Zia Muhammad, how to write a winning essay. Um, First of all, I would say this is a big part. I didn't know that there is no interview this year. Then you should like pay extra attention to your essay because it's going to be a key factor in the selection process. I would say to be honest, don't be shy to like, share your personal experience um, and what I did was I read like the requirements, the description of the scholarship, and how that so that like I knew who they're looking for, so that like I knew I'm a good match for the scholarship too. Yeah, I would come up with the description of the scholarship and write essay that oh hey I know this program is aimed to achieve this, and that, and I'm doing this, and that. You see, we're a good match. I would say that to be honest and pay attention to the uh, description of the scholarship.
Okay, thank you. One more comment from Alman Mukaddas. You were awesome. And he is asking, what was the challenge of transitioning to online studies in the US?
Mm, the challenging thing was that you cannot like really be around people, and because of I was staying in one room alone, it also affected me too. I became like from an outgoing person, I became a shy girl, and until they don't ask me, "Hey, Mukadas, what do you think about this?" I was like really shy, like to say something, until they would say like, "Hey, Mukadas, do you have any opinion or do you want to answer?" That was the challenge for me. I guess this is not just like transitioning to online, but also like being alone in one room also affected. I became like so shy. Even after coming back in the Uzbekistan, my classes are online right now too. It I was still until they don't ask me, I was not answering. I was just keeping silent, and at some point I just realized no, it can't be like that. People are not all the time. People cannot all the time ask you, "Hey, what do you want? Hey, do you have any opinion?" Like you have to um, open up. This was the challenge.
Yes, it's this absolutely different environment. We need to get
Hmm.
used to it. All right, next question from Iskandar Sulaimanov. What is the biggest lesson you learned being the UGrad student?
Mm, uh, I think it doesn't have to be like if you're planning something, it doesn't have to be. You don't have to wait like perfect circumstances to make your plans like real. To execute your plans, even though it's not like really perfect as you were expecting. Just do it. I can say that because of the like traveling, that I was not postponing it. I was just doing. Then I felt like really great that I did it. And in terms of the Lion King thing, I still have a ticket to the Broadway show. The next time when I'm in New York, this is going to be the first thing I'm gonna do. Like, the biggest lesson is not wait to the perfect circumstances to make your dreams come true. Mm.
Thank you. Next question from Jasmine Turaiva. She is asking whom we should receive a recommendation letter from. I think she's asking for this.
Mm, if it's not changed, I think that you cancel. The interview is canceled. When I was doing it, I got two recommendation letters. One was from my both of them were from the professor from my university. It can be like they say like one should be like from your academic mentor. The other one can be it would be great if it's someone who can confirm your extracurricular activities like volunteering, like community service. It doesn't have to be from the university as I did.
Mhm. Thank you. One more question from Oman. What were the things you did for community service? What to expect from it?
hmm what I did was to help kids to do their homework and play games with their like extra activities besides school. What to expect from it? Okay, the community service is great because you live in a society and you take benefits from the society, and community service is the something that you could say thank you thanks like by doing community service. And what to expect from it is first of all like something that the feeling that you are giving back to the community, and the second is people you're going to meet there is going to be like I guess I met the kindest people by doing like community service because those are the people who are aware of like social responsibility, and you can expect like new connections with the kindest people, I would say.
Great. So, did you have experience before working with kids? How was it actually?
I never had I never had it like risk I I had experience with kids by teaching, but I was paid for this. But I never had experience of community service with kids, and I really loved it. It was not just kids. I started like hanging out with their great grandparents too. And one community service idea I got from this experience was to like to have like to increase IT awareness among elderly people in Uzbekistan. I guess if our elderly people were also like so comfortable to use internet, to use like their devices they have, it would be like so much easier to handle anxiety or like feeling lonely during the pandemic. That's like something when we get back to normal, when it's not like risk for the elderly people, I'm gonna do so that like they're comfortable, they can um, make their lives colorful by hanging out, by finding like their hobby buddies, and um, and then making their days like more interesting. We can like we could like do this like have a good group of volunteers who are ready to help them to learn about IT, about like devices, about like very basic rules of using internet, connecting, and using the benefits of internet.
Right. Thank you. One more question from Oman. What qualities should one from our country have to be successful student in the US?
hmm Um, to be a successful student in the US, I think it's you have to be like very hardworking. You have to be ready to read more. I read like more than like most of the students say that I read more books by being like, abroad than like I do for my for my host institutes in Uzbekistan. Uh, we are not like covering just one book, which is supposed to be like, for this course program, but also additional literature. Yeah, this is my answer. You have to be ready to read more additional literature to be successful student in the US.
Great. So, did you have actually a chance to showcase in Uzbek culture to your American friends?
Oh, this is I forgot to put this picture. Uh, uh, I'm really jealous of those who were able to go to the Washington D.C. With their flags of their country, with their like national costumes. I was like put like effort to make it like really nice, but I was not able. But thanks to World Learning program, they organized like virtual meeting where you could enjoy national songs, national dances online. But luckily, before the pandemic started, it was in February. Our school, West Liberty School, took us to the high school, where I was I was able to give presentation about Uzbek culture and about Uzbekistan, and I went there with this dress, with national dress. Yeah, and this was how I was able to give some information about our culture to the American students.
Great. Thank you. One more question from Giovanni. Hey, Mukaddas, thanks for such an amazing interview. My question is, what is the main key for being selected? Level of your English, quality of your essays, mental maturity, professional experience.
Mm-hmm. Like among of these, thank you so much for the for your question. Among these mentioned factors, I would choose quality of your essays the first, and mental maturity the second. I remember I was writing this that um, this UGRAD program is going to give me opportunity to grow to mentally grow as well, because you don't have anyone to um, when you imagine you're sick there, you don't have anyone to do like something for you, and you have to be like very strong. And this is going to be amazing experience of being alone and very self responsible. Yeah, and third would be like professional experience, and the last I would say level of your English among these mentioned factors, because you could always when I was being interviewed, I said that one barrier I'm really afraid of is the language barrier, but this is what the program is for. Like you could improve your English, you could um, make your level better by going and practicing your English.
Thank you. I think that was the last question, and it's actually time for us
Mm-hmm.
to wrap up. Thank you so much, Mukadas. It was really, really interesting to hear about your experience. Thanks for
Thank
being
you
our
so
speaker
much.
today.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much for inviting me and giving chance to speak publicly, which I really am afraid. And thank you for hosting me, Dania.
thank you. It was a really wonderful conversation. And I also want to thank our audience for asking your questions and comments. And see you all next time at the USG Alumni Talks.
Thank
Bye bye.
you. Hmm. Bye bye.